How's it going everyone, KayneHunterTaker here and welcome back to an episode of Kayne's Hideout. I'm really excited to film another episode. It's been, I think before New Year. Yeah, I think it was around that time because I had all my decorations up and I wanted to film an episode before I took them all down. And yeah, in that time I've watched a few movies, watched a lot of shows, played a lot of games and completed a lot of games actually. And yeah, got some new games in the collection as well, which cannot wait to show what I've picked up. And yeah, let's get to it. Let's kick this off with some nostalgia. Well, for me personally, picked up a Yu-Gi-Oh! Dual Disc. It's when I was a kid. Well, I wasn't a kid. I was 14. Shut up. I really wanted one, and yeah, for my 14th birthday, got some money, and yeah, these dual discs were around, and I picked one up, and I loved that thing to death. Unfortunately, it ruined my car. It was very bad, but yeah, then I had to eventually part ways with it because for some reason it was rotting. I don't know if it was mold or if the plastic was just melting away. And I had two dual discs. I had this one, and I had that blade one from the Awaken the Dragons season, and yeah, they were just really so I had to get rid of them. And yeah, recently we just got a re-release of them, but it's not the exact same one because the old one actually had the life point counter around here. I think it was around here. I can't actually remember, and you could count your life points, whereas this one doesn't have that, unfortunately. But really cool. I really wanted to get one, and now I don't have to worry about getting that really lifelike looking one that's really expensive. About a decade ago, me, Luke, and our dad, we were trying to get into Warhammer, and we were just looking for some kind of, a game to invest our time in, and we tried that. Long story short, we failed miserably. Just didn't have a good time with it. Trying to build the models and paint, especially me, I was getting really frustrated. Fast forward now, I love painting little figures, especially I've been painting all the Resident Evil board game miniature figures, been having a blast with that. I need to get back into that. I had a bit of a break from that, but anyways, I was saying, so we tried, failed, and we thought, we don't want anything to do with that anymore. Recently we decided to give it another go, and we found the basic guide, Warhammer for Dummies, because when we were trying to play it before, we had the advanced book, and it was a bad time. And yeah, we've done a few missions and we understand just the basic gameplay, but even though we're having a lot of fun, what we're really loving is the building the miniatures and painting them. And we've got our dad painted most of them. He's done the Space Marine and the what are the Terminator little guys, Necrons. Yeah, painted all them, and they look really cool. He's done a really good job. And Luke's picking, so we're all picking our armies, and I forget who Dad was playing. I think he was just sticking with the Space Marines. I can't remember what he bought. I've gone blank now. But Luke's doing the Sigma. I've gone blank again. The Sigma, like a lot of the dinosaurs and the reptiles and all that stuff. So he got that for Christmas, a present from Dad, and yeah, he's been working on that and painting them. And for me, I kind of, I'm not ready for that just yet. Like I was at the time, and I thought I was just gonna learn the game first and just kind of study the rules, etc., and play the game first, and then once I get comfortable, I will invest in an army. Well, I have picked my army, the Soulblight Gravelords Deadwalker Zombies. Yeah, I love my zombies. I love anything to do with zombies. Yeah, I love Resident Evil, Walking Dead, all the zombie movies of the past, like Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, anything with a zombie, I'm all in. And when I was going through, Sigma's this age, so, I can't even think what Luke got, but we're sticking with the Sigma, and I think our dad bought some as well, and I can't remember him, but so we're sticking with this. And I thought, when I'm looking, I thought, what do I really want? And I was moving towards like a vampire kind of army. I love vampires and stuff, and going back to my Yu-Gi-Oh days with Vampire Lord and stuff, and I come across these guys, and we went into a Warhammer shop, and yeah, it was a shop local to us, and last one I thought, okay, I've got my army, this is the guy, like the group I want to do, and they look really cool. I can't wait to start painting them. Talking Resident Evil and zombies, I've been chipping away at my Jill Valentine drawing. I took a bit of a break and then got back into drawing her, and I'm almost finished. I'm just finishing up the background, and after that I just need to do a few little touch-ups, and really happy with how she's turning out. It looks really awesome compared to my first drawing I did of Jill Valentine from when I finally got back into drawing. Yeah, night and day, and I'm really happy from that point to now being here and finally got my style, and really pleased with the drawing. And talking Resident Evil, I cannot wait for the next animated movie, Resident Evil Death Island. We're finally going to have Jill Valentine in the animated Resident Evil universe. I mean, we've already had Leon and Claire, Chris Redfield and Rebecca. Still need Barry. I don't think Barry's showed up yet, but now we're finally getting Jill Valentine, and I cannot wait. I was going to bring it down, but I thought I'd leave it because in case I drop it. Picked up a Sub-Zero statue recently, and yeah, it's classic Sub-Zero, and the comic shop had it on display for a few months, especially during Christmas, and I thought, I really want the statue, but I thought, nah, it's Christmas, I've already, got to buy presents for family, I'll wait for Christmas to be over, and then I'll pick it up, and yeah, it was still there. A month later, it was still there, and I finally said, right, I want to put that on lay-by, which is, you pay it over time, and at a certain amount every week or so, and now I have it. You can probably see his legs right there. But I'll put the video here of the unboxing I did, and yeah, really cool. Alright, Bloody Knuckle Society. As I'm recording this episode, I've uploaded 2 episodes. Oh, shocking! I did upload episode 4 and episode 5 because I've gone back to the basic. I'm loving the setup I have for it at the moment. I like the idea of all my wrestlers and fighters. I've got the gameplay down. It's either a KO or a submit. There's no pins, etc. And what I was just really getting frustrated with is coming up with a story and then writing all the text, all that stuff, and then I'm like, oh, that doesn't look good. Redo. And in the end, it just gets really, I don't even want to do it anymore. It's just, I'll come back to it later, and later, still haven't done it. So then as I was looking through, and I thought, what made me so excited before? Why was I so invested in this universe I created? And it's all going all the way back to WWE 2K15? 16, because that's when I finally did my own universe. But what I did was created my own roster of wrestlers and pitting them in the universe mode against WWE and who could win the most titles, etc. And yeah, at the time it was like I had my own wrestlers, but also a lot of video game characters and movie characters all in my universe. And then one day I said I wanted to create my own universe, so I'll take all my video game characters that I've made and put my own twist on them and try and create my own characters. And so yeah, during that time I was just treating it like a playthrough. I was recording the episodes, providing commentary and all that stuff, and really loved it, and that was really fun when I was doing that. And I thought, that's it, that's what I want to do, and what's been missing this whole time, me essentially. And that's why it was getting a bit frustrating, because I'm trying to tell this story and I can't get my point across with like the text and everything. So I recorded episode 4. I literally just grabbed my camera. I think I'd just done a vlog that night and it was still set up. Got the game up at 2K18, which is what I'm using for my series. I did, on the top of my head, I did Snake versus Kid, because what I wanted to do was wrap up some stories that I had going. And so it was Kid versus Snake for the Hardcore Championship, and the unveiling of the Hard Knocks Championship, a new title that I was debuting for the women division, because they only had one title to fight. Oh, technically 2, because you got the faction title, which is it's like a tag team title, but for factions, and anyone in a faction can defend it. And I thought, oh, the women really need another title, and I made this one. And yeah, finally had that unveiled, and the 2 finalists in the tournament fought for it. And then episode 5, I was wrapping up a long story feud with Reaper and Manic, and the winner challenging Dwayne Hudson for the Titan Championship. And I'm just talking through it, and I'm explaining the characters and the stories that's going on. And it's not anything big. I mean, I'm no JR or King or like Michael Cole. I'm not really good at commentary, but you know, I'm just chilling out and explaining what I need to explain, what's going on, and if there's a big move, oh, what a move kind of thing. And yeah, it's nothing big, but after filming episode 4, I was really satisfied, and yeah, I finally got that just that missing piece of what I've been looking for. And yeah, cannot wait. And what I do now is every Saturday that's my day off, I'll do a recording. I will do an episode and then try and get it uploaded for the next week. And yeah, really happy now. Okay, TV and movies. I've watched a lot of shows and watched a few movies. I started Adventures of Jimmy Neutron again. I used to love that show. Mind you, I still love it. I changed that. I love that show. I used to watch it religiously when it was airing during 2003, 4, 2002. I think they started airing. 2001, I think, it's the movie when that released, and then 2002 they were airing the seasons. And yeah, I remember just watching that every time it was on and being there for the big moments when it was like collabing with other shows. Like Fairly Odd Parents had a collab show with it, and I remember seeing that being all hyped up. And yeah, it's on Amazon Prime, and because I got the Paramount collection, I've got all the Nickelodeon shows, so I'm really happy about that. And still holds up to this day, and still funny. I'm still laughing at it, to this day. Okay, here's a big one. Walking Dead, the final season, season 11, all finished and all done. I can't believe I'm saying that. I finally finished The Walking Dead, because the thing with me is it's really hard to get into the next season, but once I start, I can't stop. Watch one episode, gotta watch the next one. Watch that episode, gotta watch the next one. And I love The Walking Dead. It's one of my favourite shows and one of my favourite comics that I was reading back as Walking Dead was airing. And when I watched the first season, I thought, I want to get into the comic, and picked up a few of the books. But now with my tablet, they're re-releasing the comic as a deluxe edition, and it's all in colour. So I thought I'll pick up from where I finished off with the books and start reading on my tablet. And every comic day I'll pick up the next issue and just having a blast with it. And yeah, the final season of The Walking Dead, I liked it. I mean, it's not as good as the first season and a few seasons after that. And I tell you what, I've got to give credit to Norman Reedus, like Daryl Dixon. He held the show when Rick left, and I was like, because I heard the spoilers that Rick left, and it's like, where's the show going to go now? And that was at the time I was sort of, with The Walking Dead, but I was still watching it when I could. And Daryl did a great job, in my opinion. He carried that show to the end. Round of applause for Norman Reedus and the other characters as well that were still in it. And yeah, I can't wait for the Daryl spin-off. I'm very excited for that. Tell you what, the 2 moments that still haunt me to this day with that show. Season 2, when they were looking for the little girl, I can't remember, Sophia, spending the first few episodes of season 2 looking for her, because she ran away because of the walkers all trying to get to them, and she had nowhere to hide, and end up running away. And so all this time looking for her, and then one of the episodes, because the barn was full of walkers, and Shane's like, this is crazy, we can't let them here with us, we gotta take them out. So he unlatches it, boom, 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 great scene, all of them shooting the walkers down. And the last walker was Sophia, and I remember watching that, I was like, oh shit, oh my god, they went there. And yes, that still haunts me. And the scene, I can't remember what season it was, the Pike scene. Holy shit, that made me go, fuck, what? Because I didn't. It was around that time when I sort of really took a break from The Walking Dead, and I wasn't reading the comics. So once I finally thought, nah, I really want to watch the next season, and it was with the Whisperers, and I loved the Whisperers. I thought they were a great threat to the group. They were just... I was always worried every episode. I thought, what the hell are they going to do next? Oh my god. And yeah, then the season finale, it was the episode before the final episode, if I remember. And yeah, so everything's all like, everyone's happy. Oh, we can watch a movie now. We found a light bulb to watch the movie at the theater, and just all these, all the the settlements, all together and having a good old time. But then there's people missing. Daryl and Michonne and Carol and a few other people, they're trying to look for them. Then they find one of them, and he's like hysterical. Oh my god, you gotta help! Oh, don't go up there. And so they were all walking up the hill, and then there's these pikes, and I thought, oh my god, no, please no. And then just the camera zoom of all the characters, and then just two of the characters that I forgot their names. Enid, and it was the girl that Carl was sort of, wanting to hook up with when they first arrived at Alexandria, and they shocked me. And then when the last one was Henry, Carol's son that she's kind of took under her wing, and with Ezekiel, and I was like, oh my god, that ruined my night. I was very upset. I couldn't believe how many people they picked off, and sort of main characters as well. I was just, and that's why I enjoyed the season, especially Alpha. She was a mean bitch, and she was never angry. It was just a very, soulless, this was on you. You knew the dangers, and it's just like, ooh. Started at Peacemaker, and I don't know if it's because I'm burnt out on superhero movies. I loved the Suicide Squad movie, and John Cena played a great role as Peacemaker, and yeah, I thought I really want to watch the show, and it's really funny, don't get me wrong, it's my kind of show, and very just taking the pissy, like The Boys, essentially. And yeah, I'm just sorry, I was waiting for that to get out, and yeah, my apologies, beg my pardon. But the first two episodes, I don't know. I think because I've got a lot of shows I'm still finishing off, I think once I do that, and then I'll get into the show and watch it from then. Good, but so far I'm just not feeling it. But it's good. It's really funny. John Cena plays a great part. He always does a great job as when he's in a show or a movie. I've never heard of this movie or ever seen any reference to it. American Dragons. It's starring Michael Biehn, and I forgot his name. So you got Michael Biehn, and then there's another actor, and I forgot his name. I feel bad, but they're it's like a buddy cop. He's from China, I think, if I got that right, or Korea. Can't remember. But basically, there's murders occurring. So then he comes to America and teams up with Michael Biehn's character, and it's like, oh, we've got the same threat. We got to work together, and they're kind of clashing at the same time. But the actor who played Shang Tsung in the Mortal Kombat movie, like the first one back in like the 90s, and I thought he was going to have a much bigger role, but he was sort of the Yakuza boss, and it's like, oh, so he's like collabing with the Mafia, and it was a good movie. I quite enjoyed it. It was something a bit different for me, and I tell you what, it's definitely one of those movies where it was around the late 90s and then the early 2000s where it was very blue, gloom, kind of, in the shadows, I'm cool because I'm cool kind of thing. Yeah, it was around about that time when the movie started going with that kind of theme, and yeah, it was good. I enjoyed it at the end of the day. And started Vox Machina. I just fancy something a bit different, and been into the D&D, like because of Warhammer, tabletop stuff, and I thought I really want to watch that. It looks really good. It is really good. I'm really enjoying it. It's very bloody, very funny, and very, band of misfits, and I love that. I love it when there's like a group that just can't seem to, work together, but when the time comes for it, they do work together. But my one little nitpick, just gotta tone down the sex humour just a little bit. I don't mind a bit of sex humour, dick jokes and that shit, but yeah, it's a bit too much at some points, and I'll be watching it and then it's like, they make a joke and it's like, oh my god, really, that kind of thing. And don't get me wrong, I get that happens when people do campaigns in D&D, and this is just a way of playing it. But to me, if I was playing that and someone just kept making that kind of humour, I'd be like, mate, come on, can we tone it down a bit? Just a little bit. And for an example, episode 3, they're fighting this vampire dude and his wife, if I got it right, and it's a very intense battle. I mean, he's kicking all their asses, but then one of the characters is trying to distract the people so there's no interference, and he's singing about anal beads, and it's like, oh my god. So apart from that, loving the show, but just the Ross, just a little bit toned down a little. Finally got to watching the Trish and Luda DVD I picked up a few months ago, and a little not disappointed. I was expecting that it was going to be much like a documentary style, with these two just talking to each other and just remembering the good times, when they were travelling together, and how do I put it, wrestling each other in the ring, because these two were like during the 2000s, like the not late 2000s, but like 2001 to 2ish, where it's like, we can wrestle too, give us a chance, if a man can do it, we can do it, that kind of thing. And the pioneers of just women's wrestling. And when I'd seen it, I thought, oh, I really want to get that, because I'm a big fan of Trish and Lita. I was there when watching it, seeing these two just make history essentially. And unfortunately, so one disc is Trish and the other disc's Lita, and they're talking about their respective careers, how they got into the business and up to their Hall of Fame induction. And I was just expecting it to be like the there's a hardcore DVD where it's the best of the hardcore title matches, and what it was you had Mankind, or Mick Foley I should say, who was the first hardcore champion. He was what's the term? He was not awarded, but gifted the hardcore title by Vince, and then you had RVD, who was one of the most popular hardcore champions, one of my favourites. And then one of my favourite wrestlers was Raven. He was the one that held the title the most and won it the most times. And the three of them, were sitting at a table having a good chat. And this wasn't like that, unfortunately. But apart from that, a great DVD. If you're a big fan of Trish and Lita, I do recommend it. It's really good. I mean, women's wrestling has come such a long way, and amazing to see that now they're being given the same opportunities as male wrestlers. And there was one moment in the DVD, it was Lita versus Victoria in the first ever steel cage match for women. Like, there was never a steel cage match for women, and what really sucked was, as great as the match was and what they did, they were cut back so much when they were planning the match. The people in charge were saying, you can't do that, leave that to the men. You can't do that, leave that to the men. You can't dive off the cage, you can't bleed, blah 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 blah. And it's amazing at that time. It's like, how restricted women were at wrestling, and they still put on a great match, that steel cage match. But just amazing, just looking back and thinking, wow, they were really sort of held back, and now they're getting the same opportunities. I mean, you got Elimination Chamber with the women now. Is that true? Eliminate? Because I haven't watched wrestling or WWE in so long. I'm pretty sure they do now, and got their own Royal Rumble, which is awesome, and ladder matches, and so it's great to see. Now, a very short episodic series, only about 10 episodes, I think, and really funny. I do recommend it. If you love Mr. Bean, you're going to love this. It's a Man vs. Bee. It's pretty much Mr. Bean getting terrorised by a little bee. It's Rowan Atkinson. I mean, it's not Mr. Bean, it's pretty much like Johnny English, but very, he's trying to work, make money, take his family camping, and very burpy tonight, sorry. I got a homemade Mountain Dew. I've got soda water and got this Mountain Dew syrup, and I'm taking sips as I'm going through, and now a bit. But so he's trying to make money, and he's house sitting for a very wealthy couple, and a little bee terrorizes him, and he gets very frustrated. He's like, leave me alone, and it's hilarious. I recommend it. Started Star Wars Clone Wars Season 4, and I just fancied watching the next season, and it's amazing how we've gone from the first season to now here, where it's, you can see that the graphics and the CGI is getting a lot better, and the stories are getting a bit more intense now. I think the first few episodes was about a young prince, and his father was executed, and he's trying to lead his people to win the battle, and just that big shark dude, he's swimming around and breaking people's necks, and really creepy, and I love the show, and looking forward to just watching the next season, and eventually reach the end. Ooh. I already know what's going to happen. I'm already shaking. Okay, a bit of a wild card for me, this movie, A Cold Skin. Normally I don't watch these kind of movies. I love my horror, I love my comedy, my slapstick, and just anything, anything like that. And I wanted to expand my movie circle, watch movies that I wouldn't particularly watch, and this one, it was alright. The story was pretty, not basic, it was really well written. I hope I get it right, meteorologist, he gets taken to a little island with a lighthouse, and he's meant to relieve someone of their duties, and he takes over, and something happens, and that doesn't happen, and they find this guy in the lighthouse, and he's a bit run down, he's very slobby, and he just doesn't seem to want to know. And the first night the guy's there, he gets attacked by these weird creatures, and they're fish people, and he holds the fort, and turns out that they attack every night, and he gets really, he almost gets taken out on the second night, if I remember, and he can hear that the dude on the lighthouse is also surviving the attacks, and he's got weapons, so he ends up tracking him down and holds him up. It turns out he's got one of the people with him, he's caught one, and a female fish person, and yes, he does with it later. And the meteorologist threatens the female fish lady, and they end up working together and holding the fort every night, surviving. And as the movie goes on, the guy starts to learn that these fish people are more civil than they thought, and it gets to a point where we don't want to fight anymore, that kind of thing. And it was a good movie, and I tell you what, the soundtrack was beautiful, and the scenery is gorgeous. I love anything with the ocean and just that setting, and I felt like I could smell the seawater. That's just how well it was shot. And if you got a free day, I give it a go. It's not a bad movie at all. It's really, really beautiful, I'll say. As brutal and violent, I mean, it's pretty brutal. Like, they're shooting them, hacking their heads with hammers, and then at one point they just blow them all up with C4 that they managed to get from a shipwreck. And it has its moments. And the crazy dude, I was trying to work out who was he, and I finally figured it out, because you see a picture of him, and it was Ray Stevenson, who played the Punisher in Punisher Warzone. I was like, I knew I recognised him. And he makes love to the fish lady. Okay, last year I picked up a movie, and I forgot what it was called. I'll put a picture here. It was Sniper something, and it starred, I forgot the actual sort of main character's name, but his father is Tom Berenger? I could never remember his name. He did a lot of war movies, and he was in like Platoon and everything, and he was in it as well, playing as the father of the sort of main character. And I really enjoyed the movie. It was really good. It was just stinking fun for me. It wasn't in trying to be Avengers level action or anything like that. And at some moments it was a bit like Mortal Kombat in a way. You had this sort of assassin woman and trying to take out the the dude, and the fight choreography was really well done. And as the movie was going on, I was thinking, why does it feel like we should know what's going on with some of the characters, especially the father, Tom Berenger. I feel bad if I got that name wrong, and you will know who I'm talking about. It keeps sort of focusing on his finger, and he's missing his index finger, which is the trigger finger, because he fired the sniper, and he ends up having to use his other hand, if I remember. And it was like I should have known what happened. Well, it turns out since 1993 he's been starring in a load of these sniper movies. There's so many movies in the franchise, and I was blown away. I couldn't believe it. So I picked up a 6 DVD collection of them. I really wanted to watch them, and I watched the first movie the other week and had a great time with it. It was just basic sniper in a war movie, and their goal was to take out a very powerful, dangerous, I think, drug lord or something. And yeah, it was basically what it was. We're following these characters, and Billy Zane starred in this one, and he's appeared in a few of the sequels later on. And so Tom Berenger, is that? Yeah, Tom Berenger. Berenger. Sorry, Tom, if you ever watched this. You're a great actor. I'm a big fan of yours. I think you're really cool. So sorry if I get your name wrong. And yeah, so he's a pro sniper, and he ends up taking Billy Zane on, but he's a civilian. He's never shot anyone before, and he's worried about that. But then it gets to a situation where Billy Zane's like, I got this, man. Well, you got to get in my shit. I know what I'm doing. I'm an Olympian, marksman. I could shoot in my sleep. And then it gets to a situation where he shows off, and the motto is 1 bullet, 1 target, 1 shot, kind of thing. And he ends up showing off and doing a warning shot, and then shoots the person they're hitting. And he's like, I got him, okay. Turns out he didn't. And yeah, just the moment we learn about the finger, Tom sacrificed himself so Billy Zane can get away. He's completed his mission. He took out his target, and he's like, go kid, I'm helping you out here, because he ends up having a mental breakdown over it. And yeah, he's being tortured, and they cut off his finger. Like, they got a clamp on his finger, and I thought, oh, that's what happened. So yeah, I'm a bit of a fan. So I think this is all the movies up to the one that I got recently, I hope, because yeah, I'm gonna watch them all over time. Cannot wait. So hang on, I'll just read through them. Tom Berenger plays Thomas Beckett, a bush-savvy Marine who teams up with the political marksman Billy Zane to eliminate a Colombian drug lord, in the jungles of Central America. The sequel, One Last Mission. Thomas Beckett is sent to a remote, war-torn wasteland between Eastern Europe and Western Asia to assassinate a repressive terrorist leader. Once the mission is accomplished, Beckett and his spotter Cole find escaping more difficult than anticipated. Holy shit, I cannot wait. Picked this up the other day. WWE Legends for $10. I was really shocked, and I was a little bit sad, to be honest, because back in 2010, I was so big on collecting the latest wrestling DVD. After TAFE, on a Thursday night, payday, go to JB, big section of wrestling DVDs, and it's like, oh, what one haven't I got? Oh, I don't have that one. Oh, I don't have that one. And now it's just in a little rack, and you got to look for it. It's not even in a position where you can see it as you walk through. You got to really hunt for it now. And I found this one with a small pile of wrestling DVDs, and yeah, this was $10, and yeah, 656 minutes of wrestling legend goodness. You got Mankind, Bret Hart, King Booker, Shawn Michaels, Roddy Piper, Ultimate Warrior, Macho Man, and Stone Cold F. Steve Austin. Cannot wait to get into this. And yeah, just really amazed. Only $10. I really do miss those days. That was what I always used to love doing, just seeing what the latest wrestling DVD was. I need to do a vlog one day of all my wrestling DVDs and just show my, especially talk about my favourite ones. I really love this movie. Saw the Dungeons and Dragons movie the other day, and holy crap, this was just a buttload of fun. The characters were great, the action was awesome, and just an overall good time. And you know, I can see this becoming the next sort of cinematic universe. I mean, let's be honest, superheroes are done. You know, they've had their time. It's time for something else now, and I reckon they can do it. I don't know if, you know, just got lucky with the first movie, but I had a great time. Luke had a great time. Our dad had a great time with it. You know, we all just agreed that it was a nice change, and it wasn't being, it wasn't taking the piss, if you know what I mean. You know, a lot of movies these days, it's like they insult their audience a little bit with these, you know, taking a nice soft moment and then making a joke, and it's like, really? Whereas this movie, you know, I didn't feel like that. I felt like I was there for the whole ride, for the adventure, and really great. I want to see it again. And I love Michelle Rodriguez. She always plays a good part, and she loves her Dark Age fantasy movies. She's been in quite a few. And she should have been the star of Resident Evil. Fight me. Started another show, but I was really excited. I really wanted to watch it, and I wanted to wait for all the episodes to release. The Last of Us. It is so good. I'm really enjoying it. I actually feel like I'm playing through the video game. They've done a really good job on this, and this is how you do it. You know, a video game to a live action setting, just perfect. And, you know, Pedro Pascal as Joel, really great. I'm really enjoying him as Joel. And Bella Ramsey, I think's her name. She played the, you know, in the, I think she was a lord in Game of Thrones, and she was a great character. I loved her in Game of Thrones, and when she took out that bloody giant when she was dying, you know, and I thought, get her, kid, get him. And yeah, when she was cast as Ellie, and I thought, oh yeah, this is going to be great. And the chemistry between the two is there. I really cracked up, and I agree with Joel. You know, he's like, it's so stupid. You know, because Ellie's got the pun book, and you know, reading him all these puns, and every time she tells him, she's like, and he's just like, oh. And then it was like the diarrhea one. It runs in my genes, and he's just laying there, and he's just like, and I was cracking up as well. It's really fun. You know, when they have the jokey kind of funny moments, they really do a good job. But then when it gets serious, they do a good job as well. And yeah, I can't wait to watch the next episode, and I'm hoping someday. I mean, I don't want another live action. We had that, you know, we've had that chance with Resident Evil, but this right here, this is how you do it. You know, season 1, Spencer Mansion. Season 2, Leon and Claire arrive in Raccoon City, and it's a good setup. You know, what happened? Season 3, Jill Valentine, Nemesis. You know, this is how you gotta do it, but I really don't anymore. I mean, I love the animated movies. I'm happy to just follow them in the future, but I tell you what, The Last of Us has done something good, and it gives me hope at some point that maybe we will one day get that. But for now, Last of Us is the, you know, kicking ass, and I want to play the game now. I want to get back into that, because yeah, it just makes me feel like I'm in the video game. Episode 5, that's the recent ep I just watched. As soon as I saw Henry and Sam, I thought, oh no, it's gonna hurt all over again. And I thought they were gonna change it a bit, but no, they stuck to the video game, and yeah, I'm still heartbroken over that. Alrighty, onto the video games. So I have played a lot of games. I actually did this in the last episode, but I forgot to talk about it. Farm Mystery, it's a very basic puzzle game. I just fancied something different, and it was really cheap. I think it was like $1 on sale, and yeah, I enjoyed it, and I want to play some more games like that at some point, and I'm hoping one day there's like a big, you know, compilation of them, and yeah, just get them all in one go. Finished Horizon Zero Dawn. Yeah, I really had a good time with this, but once I reached a certain mission, so loved the story, loved the game, and then I was doing the power armor mission. You got to find the power cells and get this really cool armor. Yeah, I finally found the last battery, put them all in, and then it tells me, oh, you got to find 3 more, and that's when I'm like, haha, no, I'm finished now. You know, that to me really puts me off with the game. You know, you can't just tease me like that. Yeah, you finally found them. Oh, sorry, now you got to go find 3 more. No, I'm not. Forgot to grab this one. Pokemon Let's Go. I've just been trying to complete the Pokédex every now and again. It's not a game I jump into every day, just something a little bit different that I fancy. You know, if I'm laying in bed watching something in the background, I thought, you know, oh, I want to play a game. I'll jump into Pokemon Let's Go, and I've almost completed the Pokédex, and then I want to try and do some shiny hunting. Forgot to write this one down. I just picked this up the other day, and I'm pretty addicted to it now. I think it's just called 8 Ball. It's a pool table game, and it's a very basic pool, game, and I'm really hooked on it now because every, night I'm playing, I'm like, oh, one more game, and because I love playing pool, and especially a video game one. I mean, GTA San Andreas, when me and Luke got that in 2005, the entire time I was playing pool, trying to win money. I wasn't actually playing the game, and then I got the I think the 8 Ball I'm talking about, it's on mobile. I bought that for mobile, or not bought, but it's free, but it's got microtransactions, and I sunk a ton of time into that game. And then I got this one on Switch because it was on sale, and yeah, it's really good. I'm loving it, and I'll get some gameplay up. What's addicting is the tasks. So you go through career playing people, and then there could be, there's 3 tasks, or sink 3 in a row, or clear the table in 200 seconds, sink a ball on the break. But the games are so quick that you don't mind screwing up and then just getting right back in, and yeah, it's really good. I enjoy it. Pretty big accomplish right here. Mortal Kombat 11 Aftermath done, Classic Towers done, and platted. I have finally accomplished my goal of completing Mortal Kombat 11. Bit of a rocky relationship with this game. At first I was loving it, and then I got really pissy with it and didn't want to play it again. Scrapped my entire Classic Tower playthrough. Well, then after the Mortal Kombat movie in 2021 released, had an absolute blast watching that. I thought it was really great that it made me go, it's time. It's time to get over this this issue that I had with the game, and did the DLC, all the Classic Towers, and I thought, I want to finish this off with a bang, and got the Plat Trophy, so finally done it. Completed. Started and finished. A really fun little game. Unmetal. It's Metal Gear, like the Metal Gear on SNES and, not SNES, NES, and, forgive me if I get this wrong, the MSX computer, if I recall. It's so it's a really old style 8-bit game, top down, running around, sneaking around, all that stuff, and very, it released in the late 80s. Unmetal is that game, but it's just, it's hilarious. It's really fun, it's funny, the gameplay is awesome, and I sunk so much time every night playing it until I eventually beat it, and it's great. I really recommend it, and there's just some moments that made me go, oh my god. This... So you're following the main character, I think... I've forgotten his name now. Basically the main character, and he's just a dummy. He's very stupid, and he's being interrogated because he escaped from this base and crashed a helicopter, and he's taken in. So he's telling the story of the game, and at some moments he's like, I was being interrogated, so then I licked his ear. And then the interrogator's like, why would you have done that? I don't know. It's like that. And then there was one moment I won't forget. So we're in the sewer, and then the interrogator's like, so what did you do? Oh, so I scanned the areas and I saw. And 3 options pop up. I think it's like a drone, 2 guards, and rats. And I thought, it's... So you're piecing out the game. So... if you pick drone, there's going to be a drone hovering around. If you pick guards, there's going to be 2 guards walking around. I picked rats because I thought, we're not going to have a problem. Well, then the guy's like, there was a swarm of rats chasing me, and then I turned into a piece of cheese. So then you turn into a piece of cheese, and you're running away from the rats, and I'm like, oh my god, that's awesome. It's really fun. Give it a go. played another Resident Evil fan game, Marvin's Mod. I was originally going to do this for Halloween last year, but it just didn't make the cut, and I thought that's alright because I still got a list of fan games that I want to play, and I still need to get into the Umbrella Chronicles. Oh, what's that one? Arcade Chronicles. I need to do episode 2 because the creator's just done an update and the Z ending's available, so I need to get into that at some point. But Marvin's Mod, yeah, really great. Had a really great time with that, and yeah, there's a few other games that I just really want to get into at some point, but just you got to have this base game you got to download and then run a script through it, and I just couldn't get it to work. But hopefully one day there will be a way to do it without trying to do that, because yeah, I don't know what it was. I did everything a video said, download this game, like this program, blah blah blah, change all this, just couldn't get it to run, and I thought I'm not gonna, go through all that again with another game, because Resident Evil Crossfire, I did all that, and yeah, my computer ended up crashing, so I don't want to stress myself with that. So someday it will happen. If not, I'll just have to find something else to play. I can't remember when I bought this game. It must have been in a bundle like years ago when it's like, oh, for $10 you get 100 games. Blood Knights, it's alright. It's not groundbreaking, but it's a fun little top-down adventure game, or not a dungeon crawler. It's just you're just going through, hack and slash. You're this dude who's turned into a vampire, and you got this vampire woman following you, and she has an oath to do what you say or something like that. And yeah, it's alright. Not bad, but yeah, it's meh. Played Legends of Talia Arcadia. I did a full run of it. I think I did it all in one night. It's not a very long visual novel, and yeah, it started off quite a little bit slow, like a lot of visual novels do. But once you get past that and the story kind of goes on, it hooked me, and I thought, oh, holy shit, this is getting good. And yeah, I had a lot of fun with it. Grand Guilds. I don't think there's a side title with that. I can't remember. This is a really fun puzzle battle game. I think it's... Sorry, I keep... got itchy everywhere. It started raining when I went to work, and now... I mean, I've had a shower, but it's like I'm still a bit itchy. Yeah, it's like a... I think I always get it wrong, but tactics game. So you're on a field, you're moving around, and your goal is to attack, the opponent and all that stuff, and it's really fun because it's card based. So each turn you get 5 cards for each character you have, and you just got to work out the best way to take out your opponent. And there's some cards where it's like, grant armor to the enemy, and it's like, why would I do that? But then one of the other players will have a card that says do double damage if enemy has armor. So once I had a few rounds of playing, I'm like, this is good, I'm liking this. Very buggy though, there's a lot of bugs in it for some reason. There was one moment where it's like I did something and I pressed cancel and the pop-up menu was stuck, and no matter what I did, and then I ended up resetting my deck because I'm trying to press back, and I'm like, oh geez, that's pretty bad. But apart from that, it's fun. The characters are really funny when they're interacting with each other, and there's a good story there, and yeah, I recommend giving it a go. I've been really excited to do a playthrough on this one. Perseverance. It's a visual novel. The art is amazing. I'm a big fan of the art style, and it's pretty much like a Walking Dead-ish style story. You're following this character, and he's kind of, with his, wife has seemed to be bickering all the time, and his kid kind of, doesn't like him because he keeps doing these promises, if I remember. So he ends up going camping in a hut, and then as the story's going on, you start to notice things, and then it turns out there's been some experiments going on, and these people have escaped. They're infected. You know where this is going, and yeah, there's 3 volumes. Done the first one, so I can't wait to get into the second one. I'm playing a lot of Resident Evil Remake, doing all the trophies, and yeah, one of my favourites was the item boxes don't link, so whatever stuff you put in one box, it's not going to be in the other one, and that was one of my favourite trophies to unlock, because I can play a ton of Resident Evil. I don't like rushing through Resident Evil, and so what I was doing was, okay, so I'm moving to the lab, well, I'm not leaving my shit behind, I'm bringing it all with me. And so it's like running back and forth into that box, avoid the hunter, grab more stuff, avoid the zombie, into that box. So yeah, that was a great time for me. And now I'm dreading the invisible enemy mode, because oh jeez, that's a scary one, because I thought there was going to be clues to see where your enemies are, and there is. You know, if you're standing in a mirror, you can actually see the zombie's reflection. But I was gunning on seeing footprints, you know, like puffs of dust, you know, going poof, poof. But that doesn't happen, and there's like, you know, a moment, because I did a trial run and I really just got flustered, and I thought, yeah, I'm just going to scrap it and I'll start again at some point. You know, you at a point where it's like, do you go this way or this way? You can hear the zombie, he's there, but you can't pinpoint. I mean, I can't really hear if it's left or right. I don't know why. For some reason my headphones just don't do that, or my TV doesn't do that. Mind you, it's a very old TV. I think it's like 2011, so it doesn't have that special surround sound kind of feel. But so I'm trying to work out where the zombie is. Alright, I'll go this way. Grabs me and I'm like, so yeah, there's going to be a day where I'm just going to try and do that. I'm going to go as Chris, because he'd take a bit more damage, but holy shit, it's intense but fun. Alright, I picked up a few games for my collection. I finally bought Yu-Gi-Oh! Rush Duel. It was 40% off, and I thought, yeah, I'm happy with that. I was hoping for it to go down a little bit lower, but yeah, I don't think it was going to get any cheaper than that. And I haven't played it yet. I actually want to do a playthrough on it at some point. Once I've finished off a few games, I'm definitely going to, you know, at least have a session of it and record, you know, just to see, show my reactions, because I know the game's completely different, but I've done a lot of, you know, research on it. You know, what is this Rush Duel? And it sounds like my kind of game. You know, it's gone back to sort of using the classic monster card format, and I think you only get 3 monster zones, but then you can summon as many as you want. But then there's the downside, you know, you don't want to summon too many, you don't want to lose all your cards, and I'm looking forward to it, cannot wait. And I forgot, I actually unboxed 2 of the Rush Duel booster box, or mod packs I think they call in Japan, and I hope one day we get an English set. Finally picked up Resident Evil Dead Aim. Yeah, another Resident Evil for the collection. I'm almost finished. There's just a few more games to go, and then yeah, that's it. I got, you know, all the majority of the Resident Evil games that I needed, and yeah, it's not a bad game. It's not, you know, one that you really see anyone talking about, but it's, I mean, this was first person before Resident Evil 7, funny enough. I remember me, Luke, and a mate of ours, he was staying over for the night or the weekend, and we hired, what was, I think called Primal? I can't remember the name. There was this game, you like this woman and her boyfriend gets taken, and you got this little gargoyle helping you, and you get these powers, and we hired that, and we also hired this, if I remember, I'm pretty sure. And we played through this the whole night, and we beat it, and had a lot of fun with it. If you can get past because the gameplay is very different. Think of Resident Evil 4, it's over the shoulder and it's following you, but once you get into aiming, it turns into first person, so you got to plan your move and then make sure you're not in a position where you can get cornered, and then you aim and then it goes first person, shoot, and once you get past that, it's a really fun little game, and I highly recommend giving it a go. And I'm completely stupid, I forgot Resident Evil Survivor doing the first person first. What I'm doing now is doing the played section first, and then my new game section. So, Perseverance, so I actually just bought the first volume because I didn't want to, you know, worry about buying them all in case I didn't like the game. And I did, but I could only get the complete collection. So it's like, I'm going to pay for episode 1 again, unfortunately. But so I bought that, and so I've got the entire, you know, volume set, so 1, 2 and 3, and yeah, can't wait to get into the next episode. Look what I found in the wild. Resident Evil Outbreak for $7. This has gone around 30 to 40, so the comic shop I go to, every 3 months they have a toy and hobby fair where everyone gets together, you know, all these vendors, and they sell a lot of cool stuff, you know, like figurines, games, art, all that stuff, and it's always a great time. it's unfortunate because I always miss them. It's always on a work weekend for me, and this time it wasn't. I was really happy to finally get down there. And Luke, yeah, we had a lot of fun. And yeah, I went to the game section, found this, and I'm like, oh, I need that. Because me and Luke bought a copy years ago, back in 2005. I'm pretty sure when we bought Yu-Gi-Oh! Sacred Cards for Game Boy Advance, and we had some money left over and we pulled it together to buy Outbreak. But he played it the most, and so I decided that he can have that copy, and at some point I'll get Resident Evil Outbreak. And same with File 2, at some point I need to get that. But yeah, I couldn't believe it for $7. And there was a moment, not saying he was, but it was just really weird. I believe it was the same seller that Luke had a bit of problems with a few years ago when he was buying some games. Did the thing, you know, when these resellers, you know, of old games, you know, oh, here's the game, I'm ready to buy. Okay, give me a second. Phone, eBay, see how much it's worth. Oh yeah, so it's worth $70. I'll give it to you for $69. And yeah, so I think that was the same person, but what he did, so I said, because I had the money ready, I said, all right mate, I'll take this one, thanks. And he looks at it and he's like, oh yeah, and then grabs his phone. But then he kind of stops, and I'm ready for it, because I don't do that. You know, I'm not going to be messed around like that. So I thought, if he's going to do it, I'm going to be ready. And then it was just really weird. And then he puts his phone down, and then he's like, oh yeah, and I'm like, oh here, that's, yeah, $7. So yeah, money, and then got it, and I leave. And Luke was saying, oh, he was definitely going to do it, because Luke picked up on it as well. He was like, he was going to go on eBay. It was just really weird behaviour, and I think he realised, because the sticker said $7, sometimes they don't put a price label, because then they're going to do the, well, because on eBay it's worth this much. And yeah, so I got that for $7, which is amazing, you know, because I was ready to buy that and Outbreak File 2 from eBay, but I thought, no, I won't worry about that for now. And that's when I bought Dead Aim, and funny enough, another game that I'll talk about in a minute. And yeah, see, to me, I'm always, okay, if you're going to do that, okay, whip up eBay. I want the recent sold and the lower price. I'm not going to give you full price if someone paid, you know, if it's like $20, but then someone paid 15, well, I want to pay 15. You know, you're not going up to the highest. That's not how it works, because then I will just go on eBay. I'll put the game back and I'll say, no worries, thank you for that listing, I'm going to go home and buy it now. So yeah, I don't tolerate that, and I won't be, you know, an asshole. I mean, I don't ever want to be an asshole, but if that ever happens, I'll just say, no worries, and I'll put it back and I'll just leave. You know, that problem solved. But I mean, I've heard stories where people have bought retro, you know, they've gone to retro game stores, and you know, they pick up a game that's like $10, and you know, that's what the price says, and then they take it to the counter, and then, you know, the worker will say, oh, sorry, there's actually been a mistake, that's not $10, that's actually 15. That's not my problem. The price says 10. I'm paying for 10. You know, that's not, you know, not messing me around like that. And if there's ever any issues like, oh, well, this is the way it is, and I'll just say, no, bye. No deal. Sorry, I'm out. I'm not sorry, but, you know, that's how I am. And yeah, so don't think he was going to go for that, but, you know, we've been there before where, you know, the game's picked it up and then the phones come up and it's like, oh, my fuck's sake, here we go. Okay, pick this game up, Bloodbreed. It was free on the Switch. I was just browsing the library, and it's like a horror stalker kind of game. I actually haven't played it yet. I'm going to boot it up at some point, but it was free, and I thought, alright, I'll download it. Why not? Been wanting to get this one for a while, and it was on sale. I got it under $10. Mad Carnage. It's like from what I saw in the videos, you're this car and you're just battling other cars like Mad Max style, but it's a bit like yeah, the tactics thing again. You know, you're on this field, if I remember, and it looks really fun. I can't wait to get into it, but I'm going to finish off a few games first before starting that. Alrighty, I finished the show a few months ago, really loved it, and I've been wanting to watch the show for so long and finally started it, and yeah, finished it, maybe last year, I think, I actually can't remember. Sopranos Road to Respect. This game, I've only played about 5 minutes because I wanted to make sure it worked. They've done an amazing job just capturing the atmosphere of the show. It feels like I'm actually watching an episode of the show, and honestly, if they had just done that, and because there's been a few moments in the series where it's a very dreamlike world and it's very trippy, they probably could have done that. Chris working on his slasher movie, and there's got to be a video game. Well, now all the characters are video games. They could have done it and it would have worked. And yeah, so far it looks really fun, and I really want to do a playthrough on it at some point. Alright, I got a treasure right here. I've played this game a ton, but it was actually Luke's copy that he got for his birthday in 2003. Yu-Gi-Oh! Forbidden Memories. So this is much like my Resident Evil collection I'm trying to complete. I'm trying to complete my Yu-Gi-Oh! Collection. There's a few games I still need to get, but this is one I really needed, and yeah, the price has gone up a bit. I'm really surprised, and I'm going to be honest, it's not the best Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. There's a lot better ones out there, but this one has a lot of charm and a lot of nostalgia for me and Luke and Dad, actually, because yeah, he was getting into Yu-Gi-Oh! As well because he loves a card game, and yeah, this game we're playing together, and there's a way to, because it's really tough. Later opponents, it gets really brutal, but you got to work out the fusion element of the game, because there's no polymerization, and what you need to do, you just pick a load of cards and then you can just fuse them together and you can get a powerful monster. One of the most powerful monsters is Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, and you can do that by doing, if I have it right, if the dragon monster is over 1600, you can just do a lightning monster and it'll turn it to Twin-Headed Thunder. But if you only had a dragon under that with a machine, with a thunder monster or lightning monster, you'll get Twin-Headed Thunder Dragon, and that was just the go-to strategy, so you could at least get through the game and have an advantage. And yeah, it's definitely one of my fun favorites to go back to at some point. And back in 2008, or maybe in 2010, I finally beat it. I had so many great cards. I had Black Meteor Dragon, which is a very powerful card, 3500, and Skull Servant is like 2850. So I had a lot of powerful cards, but just trying to win the last few duels is so brutal. I mean, Blue Eyes Ultimate, Perfectly Ultimate Great Moth, just these powerful cards, and I just got lucky and I finally beat the game. And yeah, I really want it for the collection. It's one of the first, I think it is the first Yu-Gi-Oh! Game to be released here, like in English, because there was one that I actually really want to get, Yu-Gi-Oh! Capsule Monsters. It's completely different format to Yu-Gi-Oh! But it's like Capsule Coliseum, if I got it right, and I need to get that at some point. But I think this is the first one to be released in English to like over here, and yeah, still has its charm. I say the best for last. Resident Evil 4, just needed it for PS2 because yeah, I got it for GameCube and Wii, but I played the PS2 version the most and loved every bit of it and completed 100%. Resident Evil 4 Remake, just finished it the other night and really loved it. I had a great time with the game, and just yeah, it's a great remake. Not a perfect remake. There's a few things I would definitely change, but the good outweighs the bad. I mean, there's just a few little nitpicks for me. It's not like the game's awful. I really enjoyed it. It's great, and I love what they're doing with where they're taking the series now, because this has really planted a lot of seeds for the next entry in the series. Might get Resident Evil 5 Remake, or maybe even Resident Evil 1 Remake in the RE engine. That'd be really cool, and yeah, just really fun, and can't wait to get into doing all the challenges and all that stuff. And I tell you, see, the negatives I had with it is the parry system was not a fan of, especially when you got to repair the knife. To me, that kind of well, I'm not going to use the knife. I'm just going to make sure the enemies don't get too close to me. I'll shoot them before that happens. So if you didn't have to repair the knife, I'd be happy with that. Second, the shooting gallery. It's not fun. The one in the original was so much better in my opinion. It was just basic. Shoot the targets, get as much as you can, get as high a score. That's fun. The remake, yeah. I mean, I was nearly punched myself in the face. Oh my god, it's just bullshit. Because what you gotta do is shoot all the targets, meet a goal so you get the bonus round, and you gotta shoot these medallions that certain targets hold. And I feel like the game is purposely rigged, because there will be moments where I'm aiming. As soon as I press fire, the gun moves down. It's like Leon coughs. And yeah, I was just getting really pissy with that. But I was able to do it. The one that was giving me the trouble was TMP, because, trying to shoot the metal. But the other challenges, I mean, I haven't done 4A, B, and C yet, but 4C looks really scary. You got to swap out 4 weapons at a time. And Luke he almost had a mental breakdown over it one night. It was like, uh-oh, holy shit. But, yeah, what else was there? Missing It. I was a bit bummed out about we didn't get It, because it was pretty much a joke, and then, once you realised, so Sailor's like, I forget how he said it. You have a encounter with it. It's like, what the hell is it? And then you see it, and you're like, oh, that's it. So, yeah, I was a little bit bummed out about that. And I was really pissy about some treasure. I hate that I get punished for playing the game and then I miss out on treasure. It was in the castle and you needed Ashley to, she had to climb over to unlock the door, and what it was, I thought, I won't go back just yet, because I needed a small key to unlock a locked drawer, and I thought, once I find it, I'll go back and do it all in one swoop. Well, because I played on, I lost Ashley, and then I couldn't go and get the treasure. The door was locked. I needed someone to help me get over, to get it unlocked. So then I thought, alright, maybe there's a point where you get her again. Well, we team up with Lewis. That was really cool. I love what they've done with Lewis, like Lewis's character. I'll do the negatives and I'll talk about the positives after. And yeah, I thought when we're teaming up with Lewis, he can help me get over. No, that doesn't happen. And then, yeah, I'm about to get to the island, and I thought, wow, that sucks. I'm playing the game and I get punished because I didn't go and get some treasure, so that kind of, put me in a mood for about a week. But apart from that, a lot of good stuff I do love about the game. I loved the characters in this now. I just had a really great time with everyone. Leon, he's definitely a very pissed off dude right now. He's, look, I'm doing my mission. I'm not messing around now. And then at some point, Ashley gets through to him and he starts to kind of open up a little bit, because, sometimes you do forget he's going through some deep shit. A bit of PTSD because of Raccoon City. And, the one I keep forgetting is there was definitely survivors there and they didn't make it, and he failed his duty as a police officer. He didn't protect everyone, and he's definitely still feeling that weight. But then at some point, his goal is to protect Ashley, and he kind of, he finally gets over that feeling. And I loved Ashley. I think they've done a great job with her character now. She's very confident. I loved her to bits. I mean, there was moments where, an enemy's going to take her, and I'm like, don't you fucking dare, don't you touch her. She's really cool. There's some moments where she's, there was when she does the bulldozer, and she's like, did you see that, Leon? Oh, we make a great team. And just, and she's never whiny in a sense, apart from when she gets really freaked out because she's infected. But she was really cool. I loved her. Lewis was great. And then I thought the moment when Krauser takes him out was perfect. I saw it coming a little bit. I just didn't think it was going to be Krauser to do it, and that sets up that battle. And Jack Krauser, I really like his character in this, because in the original he was very just, I'm doing this because I feel like it, because I want to. But in this, you can definitely see he's not okay. The mission he was on, the America, like the government, just they were expendable. His men were all killed, and he made it out. And now it's like, this is for you, men. I'm not gonna let this go. I'm gonna get revenge. And this is when he teams up with Sadler and all that, and just the whole battle itself. Oh, the Krauser battle. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of that. I like the original better. When once you realise the knife was the way to do it instead of the guns, was really cool. But this one was just brutal. I didn't particularly like it that much. But yeah, the whole thing with him and Leon. Listen here, rookie. You think you can take me on? You're just a rookie. You're never gonna be anything than that. And once the final moments happen, and Leon puts me out of his misery, because that's what he wanted. He just wanted someone to kill him, pretty much. He was hurting. He didn't want to. He was just waiting for the day someone would do it. And when Leon does it, he's like, "Good job, rookie. You passed." And then Leon's, he's the master now. And then I feel like they kind of plant some seeds that maybe in a future game, he will take Ashley under his wing, and he will train her to be, a fighter, to protect herself, and so this shit doesn't happen again. And I'd like to see her come back now. She's really great, and we probably might see her team up with Rose. You got Leon training Ashley, Chris training Rose, and they team up. That'd be really cool. I'd look forward to that. And yeah, what else was there? There's not much I can really. I just loved everything about it. Hunting for the treasure was fun. I loved that. I bought the DLC, so there was more treasure to look for. And yeah, I think I'll end it there. I could talk about Resident Evil 4 all night, and at the end, I loved it. Even though there was some things I didn't love about it, it outweighs that. Like, the good outweighs the little negatives. And yeah, once I finish filming this, I'm going to get right in there and start doing all the challenges. Alright, everyone, that's the end of this episode of Kayne's Hideout. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you later. Time for some more Resident Evil 4.